Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Jack is down in Orlando today. The Ubers in Orlando, in particular, are very difficult, so getting around down there is no easy feat. So I have the privilege of being joined with NikNBA today, a regular on the pregame show, one of the up and coming creators in the Celtics community. Nick, hello.
Hey, thank you. I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Have had better starts to the season. Would be feeling better if they weren't dead in the NBA Cup. But regardless of the NBA Cup death, we do have a fun show for you guys today. So stick around through all of it. We will be talking about how they've looked through 10 games. It is the official 10-game mark. Jack has made a lot of the 10-game mark. It's where he had planned to make some of his decisions, whether or not he would move off his 45-game prediction, things of that matter. So we'll go through where they rank amongst like several different stats and what Jaylen Brown has had to say about the team in this stretch, and we will talk about the bench, a particular duo in particular that people have made the scapegoat / can't stop defending some of these guys either. Very strange. We'll go through emails, we'll go around the NBA and look at the standings, then we'll do the rat list and we'll get out of here. It should be a fun show. Stick around through all of it. Subscribe. We're here every day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps drop morning after each game, and other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. But yes, without further ado, 10 games into the season, the Celtics are 4-6 after a kind of disappointing loss against the Magic last night.
Yeah, man. It was yeah, we just haven't started off great. Even in the Wizards game, we were down like 11 in the first quarter, so we haven't been starting off games right. And this game, the Magic are not a great shooting team at all. They are actually, in fact, one of the worst 3-point shooting teams. But the way that the Celtics play with the aggressive help, the Magic got us into rotation, and they hit like 6 for 7 from 3 in the first quarter. So
crazy.
They got pretty high, and I kind of knew that that this would be the game where Desmond Bane like actually starts to hit shots, but then Anfernee Black started hitting threes, and Tristan Silva, who's actually a okay shooter, he started to hit some. So it was just all over the place. The Celtics got caught into rotations a lot of times, and the Magic took advantage of that. So yeah, it was a tough game. Wherever you want to start, I'm with it. But yeah, it was a tough game.
I mean, it is like just classic being a fan of the Celtics when you watch the opposing team enter the game 33% from three, shoot 47% from three, beat you by 4 threes in the 3-point column, and then you lose by 13. We talked about it briefly last night on the show, on the post-game recap. The way that they lost this game was such a gut punch because they were right there. They were fighting and clawing to be in the game. Josh Minot turns the ball over. Then from that point on, they lose 28-14 in the final half of the fourth quarter. And now they're 4-6. They are not, well, I don't know. They're on pace to win 32 games. Like if you put weight into that, I think they've played a lot of good teams throughout these first 10 games. So that might be skewed just a little bit, but Greeny from Barstool put out a ton of stats today, just in terms of where they rank amongst other NBA teams. And spoiler alert, they're towards the bottom in a lot of them. 30th in pace, 30th in assist percentage, 30th in free throw rate, 27th in 3-point percentage, 28th in D-reb percentage, 28th in opponent offensive rebounding percentage, 26th true shooting, 23rd in points, 29th in opponent offensive rebounds, 23rd in effective field goal, 29th in opponent second chance points, 28th in opponent free throw attempts, yet 10th in offensive rating, even though they can't seem to score the ball, and 14th in defensive rating, 14th in net rating. Through 10 games, what are you feeling? Like, where do you think that they actually land? Because we have two sets of not categories, but like areas where they have ranking. They're ranked towards the bottom in all these things. They're a very good defensive team according to all the numbers and the shot margin, but they are middle of the pack net rating.
I would lean towards them being where their net rating is, towards the middle of the pack, like especially in the like Eastern Conference, they'll probably be like in that 7 to 9 range. I wasn't very high on this team coming into the season. I think my prediction was like 42 and 40. So I mean they're what their record is right now. Like they're gonna be 2 games under, 2 games over They're going to be doing that all season. And I think a really underrated part about the teams that we had in our previous years was we haven't experienced any real like injuries yet. So we've been fairly healthy, of course, except for Tatum, right? In past years, we've been blessed to have the talent to, okay, Tatum's out, cool. Jaylen Brown's out, cool. Derek's out, cool. Kristaps out, Al Horford's out, cool. We have dismantled playoff teams with 2 starters out. Like that has continuously happened the last 2 years, bro. If we get an injury this year, like I don't want nobody to get injured, but it's the NBA. It's what happened, right? Like Jaylen Brown's already been playing through some shit, right? So let's say Jaylen Brown goes down for 4 games, right? Because he's had this for like the past 2 years where he's he'll have some games he'll miss, but he's usually fairly healthy. We're not winning. We're not gonna win if Jaylen Brown is out. I have unless we're playing the Wizards or like the Nets, I have a very tough time seeing us win majority of those games. If Derek White goes out, I know he hasn't been shooting great and all that, but I don't think the Celtics have the team to overcome injuries like they have in the past, where Kristaps was literally a cherry on top for a championship team. He didn't have to play at all in the regular season. Also he only gave us 1 game in the playoffs. So he didn't have to play for 97% of a season. And that team was so good that shit didn't even matter. If Kata misses,
it's so funny.
It's listen to me. If Kata gets hurt, we're doomed. Just can we like put that into perspective? Like
there's a lot of doom here. Like you're making a great point. Like I don't want to like get too far into because we're gonna talk about the bench in a little bit. They can't even survive the bench minutes. They can't even survive the minutes when these guys are off the court. Never mind if they miss an entire game.
Right.
That's the scary part. And if your team tanked, then you should be feeling really good about those things. And remarkably, like they have been the absolute worst in so many categories that it feels like they can improve in. Rebounding is one that you can be on the fence, like I don't really know if it's gonna get much better. But like everything in your like being tells you that they should be making more of the shots. Like they're not really getting a lot of difficult shots. A lot of the misses they're having are normal shots that they would make last year, the year before. The same people would be making those shots, and yet they're not, and they're still competitive in all these games. And again, middle of the pack net rating. And it's really because they've done a good job of making sure they win the sharp margins, which is what Joe Mazzulla told me when I asked him about this before Wednesday's game. It really comes down to them trying to give themselves the most opportunities to win. But you're so right about just the luxury we've all become accustomed to here, where when you take that away, we just kind of don't know how to react. People are like fighting with each other online. You have people in our comment section every day going to war for different players that like they shouldn't be going to war for, or blaming this guy, blaming that guy, blaming Joe. It's like, if you're going to ever pick a season to blame Joe, this is not it.
No.
Maybe you can feel like he hasn't elevated the roster in the way like a great head coach would, but I think he's like doing a decent job trying to maximize some of these guys. It's because of the roster that they're struggling, not him.
The one thing that I've really been like not cool with Joe about is that when guys are playing good, he takes them out. Like like he would just take them out like 30 seconds after they have like a
give me an example
stretch of playing good. So
anyone from yesterday?
Yeah. Ugo, I think Josh Mina, there was a play where he got it was either steal or a rebound, and he ran up the court, threw the ball to Kata. Kata got fouled. He was hyped. He even high-fived Joe, and Joe took him right out. Like, I'm just like, okay, cool. And then I feel like Ugo was getting together, and then he took him out. So it's a lot during the season. And this also goes back to your point, right? That, okay, he has to do this. We don't have a rotation thing for the rest of the season. Like, he has to do this. We're flip-flopping. We're trying to see what combinations can work. We're probably not going to have a rotation for this whole season because of the roster that he has. Like, there was no, I don't have a rotation the last 2 years. It was my guys play, I might need an extra wing. I might need an extra center. I'm gonna see if Jordan can play. Baylor Shaman came on late last season. Like, but those are the only positions where it was kind of like, okay, we need to see who can come up. We picked up Toy Craig, right? Those are the only spots where it was like, okay, we might need to see who can handle this. Now it's spots what 4 through 12. Like
Yeah.
the only three constants are Brown, White, Pritchard. Like Kada, I think can be, but he's only playing what 24 minutes a game, and he's been he's been impressive. But Joe isn't playing them starter time. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know. That's the only thing I would get on Joe about. I feel like Joe is a really good coach, but I don't know if he can elevate this roster to be like a 5th seed or a 6th seed. And I don't think that makes him a bad coach. Like that would just mean that he's not a top 3 coach. Maybe he's top 5, top 10. But what we saw him do with that team, as far as scheme wise, right? Everybody says, "Oh, they just chuck threes." It's not about just shooting threes, bro. They take what's there, right? They create 2-on-1s, they create 3-on-2s, and a lot of our threes were created inside out, right? It's not like we're just driven around the 3-point line trying to find a three. They were penetrating. Tatum was in the post, Brown was in the post, Kristaps, he was in the post. We don't have those guys anymore, so the post is down, which is a change. Which people say the Celtics haven't changed, but all those majority of those were created inside out. So when it's inside, they send 2, somebody's open from 3. And last year, everybody that was open from 3 was a 38 plus shooter. So it is what it is. We just took an open shot. This year, the mid range has been going crazy. Like Pritchard shooting like 76% in the paint. Jalen is back to his mid range mastery. So I don't know. The team is different. The strength was supposed to be pace. We heard that all training camp. We heard that all media day, how they're playing super fast, 30th in pace. So I don't know if they're faster from last year, but they're still their last in pace like they were last year. But the defense has certainly changed. They've certainly been more aggressive in help. I think that's why Jordan Walsh has looked so good defensively, because he's using his size and his length on the defensive side of the ball. You have guys like Hugo Gonzalez, Josh Mina, who Joe is pressing a lot, and he's using their size and length and their energy to hound the offensive player. So I think they sit at 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there can be anywhere under 6. Anywhere under 6, I think, of course, not like 14, 15, but anywhere from like 6 to 12, 6 to 11, I think is feasible for the team, especially when you factor in they're going to have injuries. Somebody's going to get hurt. It happens to every team every single season. Somebody's going to get hurt. And I just don't think the Celtics can navigate that like they once could.
Couldn't agree more. I think if somebody gets injured, they're really up the creek. Before we continue, though, going to tell you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is something you do every time you like to watch sports. They got you covered. You can take any player prop, points, rebounds, assists, football season's going on, higher or lower. That's all you got to pick. They make the decision super easy. This football season and now basketball season too, you can stack your picks. So no more having to pick all different players. If you just want to go all in on Jaylen Brown, you think Jaylen Brown is a great matchup on any given day, you go ahead, you take his more than points, more than rebounds, more than assists, or maybe more than turnovers if they have that. That has been a weakness for him this season. And CLNS take care of you. Use promo code CLNS to get $50 in the lineups after you play your first $5. Again, CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5. But yeah, Celtics are certainly versatile in where they can finish. I think that's fair. I think that they have a lot of floor ceiling distance, and injuries have a ton to do that. They cannot withstand injuries. If Jaylen Brown misses games, they are going to lose they're going to look like the Wizards. There's going to be no offensive initiation outside of Peyton Pritchard. They're going to struggle immensely. And it doesn't bode well for if he does miss time. Thankfully, it seems like he's healthy right now. It's something he talked about after Wednesday's game. He's like, had the hamstring thing, but feeling good now. Training staff took care of me. Health was a huge priority for him coming into the season. So I think he's got that ironed out, but these things are freak things. Like, you can't really control injuries as much as you would like. Sometimes it just sneaks up on you anyways. Positives from the first 10 games, though. We can talk about individual players. I'll go through some defensive stats just because I think that's where they've really kept themselves in the fight here. They've been one of the more intense defenses. You mentioned the differences and how they do that. They've been scrambling a lot. They've been committing to trying to just play chaos. They'll blitz you. They'll try and bait you into making bad passes, try and turn you over. They've been great at forcing turnovers. They've forced, I think, the most in the league or second most in the league this season. They're towards the top. And meanwhile, offensively, they take care of the ball. They just don't turn over the ball. They're the least turnovers in the NBA per game. Really impressive stuff from them. They are number 3 in opponent points in the paint, number 1 in opponent points off turnovers, and meaning like they don't give up a lot, and number 9 in opponent effective field goal percentage, 4 in opponent field goal percentage, 3 in opponent points. So again, they are doing their job on that end. The problem is they can't really close those possessions. The rebound has been a problem. The second chance point's been a problem. Free throws, they foul a lot, which is like sneaky, deceiving stat in terms of what it does to the other stats. Like, you can go on NBA.com and be like, wow, Celtics like outshoot their opponents by 10 every game. That's so cool. It's partially because they turn them over and they take care of the basketball, partially because they shoot a lot of free throws, the opposing team. So it takes away shot attempts. But individually, who has stuck out the most for you? You mentioned Jordan Walsh, you mentioned Ugo. I feel like those, what did you call them? Dirty work wings really have impressed you in your last video.
Yeah, I would. If we're gonna start, I want to lean towards Jaylen Brown. Like, there's been so many questions of like, can he lead a team? Can he do this? Can he lead a team to a championship? I would say no. But for what he's doing right now, like, there's been so many debates about his on-off shit, and I'm just like, okay, listen. Advanced stats are important, right? But it's more important when you compare that with what you see with that number, right? So when people bring up Jaylen Brown's on-off shit and like, oh, they're negative with him on the floor. One, when you filter out garbage time, they're not a negative. 1, 2, can you really say that this team will be better with Jaylen Brown off the floor? Can we just say, can you watch these games and say that they're better with him on the floor? Like, turn your TV on, brother. Turn your TV on, man. Can we just say that he's better? Say that this team will be better with him off the floor. I don't think there's a way that you can say that. Now, off the floor for 10 minutes of a game, it's possible that the team can be better in those 10 minutes, right? Because if he's out, most likely the people that are in aren't going against 5 starters on the other side. Let's just say that, right? So there's worse players on the court, right? If he's on the court for 30 minutes and has 37 points and 5 assists and 5 rebounds, shooting great from 2, not really hit from 3, but he's being efficient in what he's doing, right? And for those 30 minutes, it's a hard-fought game, and he's playing against the other team's best players. He comes out for 5 minutes, and our Pritchard, Derek, Cater team, they go out and they smoke the other team's bench for 5 minutes. And the on-off swing is, oh, they were better with Jaylen Brown off the. Come on, y'all. Come on. No, let's not do that. So Jaylen has been phenomenal from the mid-range. I love that he's being deliberate. The difference between him and Tatum that I've said throughout their whole careers was, I feel like Tatum is more skillful, but Brown is more like in your face. He's stronger. He's more deliberate scorer. So he's going to get to his spot and he's going to rise up. I felt last year, especially in the mid-range game, I think he only shot like 43% from there. And I was just like, wow, this doesn't really look like him. But he advanced as a passer. You know what I'm saying? The other parts of his game rounded out well. But this season, the short mid range has been amazing. The long mid range has been amazing. So I've thoroughly I've thoroughly been impressed with how Jalen has been as a scorer, as the top option. So I want to start with him and give some praise to him first.
Deserved praise. Has been awesome. I think he's exceeded everyone's expectations, and we all kind of got taken down a peg last spring because he was playing through the meniscus tear, and we were all like, what's going on here? Why does he not look the same? He doesn't have the athleticism. Clearly didn't have the burst. Like, he had his first dunk of the season last night, but I don't think that's indicative of how athletic he's looked. You mentioned he's getting to his spots. He's so deliberate. It's such a great way to put it, because he is just not wasting time. Even if the shots he's getting may look difficult, you feel confident in them going in. It's not a bunch of watch this, watch this, watch this. It's one dribble. He's getting to the elbow. He's pulling up, or he's posting up there and he's getting to the fall away. Like, he's not getting forced into bad shots by the defenses. He is in control when he has the basketball. Another difference, I think Jack mentioned it last night, which is a really good point in the way that they run offense. They can't really, or maybe it was Jake. I did the first floor last night too. They can't really run pick and roll with Jalen as a ball handler like they do for Jason Tatum, because if you want Jalen to be his most comfortable at his best, you don't need the defense to have a free opportunity to blitz him. You need to keep the secondary defender, the help defender away. And if they are going to come, it's going to be because they're leaving somebody wide open and the read's there. It's easy and you can make them pay. By running pick and roll, it'll kind of take you out of that. But he's been a tremendous leader. He took on the responsibility going into camp, going into media day. Like, he was talking about how much he really wanted to get these guys to blend together, to develop the chemistry. They all went to a concert before the season. They went to the Patriots game. Like, they did a ton of stuff to try and gel. And he has been truly a massive part of it. 10-year Celtic. That's kind of what he's learned. He's truly becoming like a Celtic great kind of before our eyes. And I hope people appreciate him a little bit more after this start to the season. Hopefully he carries it over, because the efficiency's been unreal. He's gotten some sneaky good help too. Like, I know we just keep talking about Josh Minott. I'm sorry to the listeners that they're like, yeah, we get it. Like, he's cool and he's really good. He was really good against Orlando yesterday too. He had the turnover at the end of the game, which was the first domino to fall in the absolute collapse. But overall, he's making his threes. Have you noticed this? Let me ask you something. Have you noticed the Wizards game and then last night? Jake told me last night he saw it, and I saw it on Wednesday. The hitch in his shot might be kind of gone. Like, he looks a little bit smoother shooting the ball.
I haven't really paid that much attention to it. I still think there's a hitch there, but I haven't really honed into it. I thought you were gonna go with he's starting to hit more above the break threes now.
That too.
It was exclusively in the corner, and I would still love him for majority of his threes to be in the corner, because I think he's starting to get more confident and he's taking some more contested ones. But in the Wizards game, he hit 3 from above the break. He didn't hit one in the corner, and then this last game he hit 2 above the break too. So yeah, I will watch for the hitch thing, but I haven't seen that, no. So I have to watch for it.
He's been awesome. Luka's been awesome. Jordan Walsh has been awesome over these last 2 games. You want to talk about Jordan for a minute? He's kind of snapped back into the picture after being eclipsed by Ugo. His minutes were taken by Ugo, and he still found his way into the rotation Wednesday. Looked good again against the Magic last night. What are you seeing from him? Why has he been so impressive? Why do you think he's starting to earn the respect of Missoula? Those kind of things.
Yeah, in the preseason, Jordan Walsh, of course, suffered an injury that didn't allow him to play as much time as the Josh Minott and the Ugos did in that span. But I thought in the preseason defensively that he was still really good. I think Jordan Walsh has always been a really good defender, right? I've always thought that. And in the preseason, he showed that too. He, of course, was injured, but what I do think in that time of, especially in the preseason, he didn't show that he was comfortable on offense. He didn't show any signs of being able to help on offense in the preseason, right? So whether that was shooting, whether that was driving, there was just nothing outside of crashing that he could do with an actual lineup, right? And Who was that? The Rockets game, I think, helped him a lot. Even though it was garbage time. He scored 10 points in that game, I believe. But in all of the games before that, he hadn't played more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds in any game. So the Rockets game where Ugo was in, Amari got some time. Like, yeah, we got blown out. But for those guys, that time was valuable, was really valuable. Now, to us, it's like, oh, it's garbage time. It is what it is. But he scored 10 points. He hit 2 threes. He got some drives. He got blocked a couple times. But, like, that was his first time actually playing all season. And then you see that he has 3 solid games in a row after that game. He just needed some time. He was injured in the preseason. He didn't really play that much. While all of these guys are playing, they had a head start coming into the season. And I think it just goes to like reiterate what Joe was saying. Like, we're not going to have a set rotation for this whole season. We haven't seen Chris Boucher a lot. He was a guy that we thought was okay. Either he's going to start at the 4 or he's really going to be a part of this. Either way, he's playing. He hasn't played a lot in these last couple of games. We saw Shaman score 17 points. Shaman, he didn't play yesterday. Jordan Walsh, again, the first couple of games, he didn't eclipse 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If he plays 3 minutes, that's not even playing. But he didn't even get that. Now, in these last couple of games, he's actually playing. He played 18 minutes last night, I believe. So,
yeah,
all of our wings, the dirty work wings, you know what I'm saying? Josh, Ugo, Walsh, they rebound. Brad, if you can rebound as a wing, you might have some chance on the team. I think all of them had at least 2 offensive rebounds last game. And if Ugo's rebounds were counted by how many times he gets his hand on the ball, he would average like 7 rebounds easily because he's in every fight. He touches the ball almost every time he's on the floor for a rebound, but he just doesn't get it. So I liked Walsh. I think the new scheme caters to Walsh. He can help. He can dig. He can stunt. He can come over and block a shot. So I have liked with Jordan Walsh, and he's shown me a few drives that I'm like, okay, I didn't know you had that. You know what I'm saying? He had a Pinoy step. He had a Pinoy step yesterday. In the Washington game, he had a nice drive. He had a 3 in the Washington game too. I've never thought that his shot was like broken. He just needs to, take more shots. So yeah, I have liked what I've seen from Jordan Walsh.
Yeah, right. All 3 of those guys, at least 2 offensive rebounds. Good catch. You know what's funny about that? And then we can move on because I don't want to spend all day. We have to get some negatives. That's just what we do here. Those 3 guys in particular have really benefited from the rebounding stuff because they kind of rebound a similar way to Tatum, like where they are able to use their athleticism and their just energy to get in there rather than having to play the positioning game, which is something more so that Nimi has to do as the big man. And it really is helping them fill that void that they've really missed with Jason's out so far. But now we're going to get into the negatives. I'm going to start by reading a Reddit post that I saw. Couldn't believe it. Crazy post.
Okay.
Simon scores 11 points in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter in his bench. We proceed to enter a scoring drought and lose the game. Joe really has no idea how to use Simons, completely wasting this kid's talent, which actually might be true. He was shredding the Western Conference starters last season. He had 5 30-point games in the final month of the season. Joe has no idea how to use this player effectively. Pritchard keeps fouling out in first quarters and getting blocked by stars. You know what's funny about this post coming last night is that Simons had 5 fouls last night, and he only played like 18 minutes. People love to go to war for Anfernee Simons. And if you want to blame Joe for him not really knowing what to do out there, I guess you might have a leg to stand on because Joe truly might not know what to do with him. But you cannot watch these games and be like, why is he not doing everything? Why are they not turning to Anfernee Simons to save them? Anfernee Simons and Luka Garza, I'm looping him in too. What do they do? What do they do? Why are they in the game? There's so many times that you just watch minutes with these guys in there. Oftentimes it's the minutes where it's Jaylen Brown out there, which is also a reason why some of his net rating stuff is bad or his plus minus is bad because he's trying to backpack guys like this. It just doesn't work. So, Nick, please tell me, what do they do?
Okay. Anfernee Simons.
Speechless is not good.
Anfernee. No, it's not. Anfernee Simons can score the basketball. That's never been a question.
Correct.
But what I have not been impressed with, I thought he was a better ball handler than this. I said this in his first preseason game. I said this. I said he's not equipped to handle pressure. As a ball handler, he can't bring the ball up with pressure on him. And I think a lot of that comes from he's just not that strong. So on the offensive side of the ball, guys are able to like get into his chest, like affect his handle on the, of course, on the defensive side of the ball. He just gets, thrown around sometimes, even though I think he is showing a lot of effort on the defensive side, but he can't handle the ball for an extended amount of time. And if he's asked to make a play for someone else, not 7 times out of 10 is not going to work. So when a thing that they've been effective on, they'll have the ram action. So when it will be Pritchard and either Garza or Cater, right? So Pritchard will set the off-ball screen on Cater's man. Cater will come up and screen for Anfernee Simons. That's an action where he doesn't have to think about anything. He can just come off, turn a corner, either hit a three when he gets to switch on the big, or he can just go at them. That's stuff like that where he's able to just turn a corner. He's a primary scorer in the Spain action, or he's getting a pin down. He can be the handler in that to score the basketball. He can make some plays out of that. But if he's blitzed, like the Pistons game, where they ran the ram action like 3 times, he made 3 good plays off of that. He scored, hit a 3, blah, blah, blah. They started blitzing the ram action. He turned the ball over twice in a row. In the preseason, Jamal Shead, who is a dog, he just hounded. All of his turnovers were because of pressure. Then the Cleveland game in the preseason, he didn't bring the ball up as much. 5 of his 6 threes that he made were him playing off the ball. That's the best.
Which he's been great at.
But that's what he needs to do. So when people, and guys, yesterday, come on. Now, if you're saying that he shouldn't have played 2 minutes in the half, fine. But he was not good in the first half. That's why he didn't play. He legit just wasn't good. That is what it is. And I think I saw a post from John Zanis or something from CL, and I think he was saying that Simons isn't one of those guys where you just try him out, and if he's not good, he's done, right? I think he's trying to say that he should be in the rotation no matter what, right? Whether you think that's 30 minutes, 25 minutes, he doesn't think he's a guy that you try and then you pull if it's not on. So Sam Hauser, when he was like early years of Sam, where it was like, okay, he can't play defense yet. So I'm gonna play him for these 2 minutes. If he doesn't hit a 3, he can't play. Right? I think they're saying he's not in that mode. I don't really give a damn. If you're good, you're good. He's not Brown, he's not White, he's not Pritchard. So if he's playing good, he's a plus. If he's in that first half, guys, he just was not good. It's fine. He got an opportunity. He scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. He brung them back. He was a big part of that. When he's on, he's on. When he's not, he's not. Is like Paulo didn't have a great game, but at least through 3 of his 5 fouls were Paulo posting him up. Now, some of them were soft, but when he got on Paulo, it was an automatic foul. Like, he couldn't play in that situation. And Orlando is a tough, huge team. Like, Simons can shoot, he can score. That's what he did. He did great in the fourth quarter, but then he also picked up 4 fouls. So you can't play him the whole time if he has 5 fouls. It's just not how that's not how that works. So Garza, Papa Garza, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? It's actually been great to see, his journey. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been the greatest with the Celtics. I think the first couple of games were much better. The first couple of games was much better. The screening, the energy, the offensive rebound. He's never going to be a good defender, I don't think. But he was doing a solid job with like the verticality stuff and just trying to like hold his own. I think he also hit a couple threes. I think the New Orleans game he hit 3 threes. The Philly game, I believe he had one or two, but yeah, he just kind of dipped off a little bit in these past couple games. And you made a great point about like Jalen, like the on-off thing. Like on-off also has to do with the people you're playing with. It's not you. It's the like when you have to be playing with 4 other people at all times.
Yes.
Right. So the lineup. So if I was to go to all of the lineups with Jaylen Brown in like on the court right now, if I put Jaylen Brown on I bet you the lineups where he's like not great in, it's like it'll be a bad lineup. Like it's probably not a great lineup. So I just need people to understand like there's a lot more to those stuff. So okay, if I go to his stuff, there's 2 liners where they're like a plus 20, right? So there's him, Kada, Derek White, Sam Hauser, and Pritchard. That lineup is
Okay.
played 41 minutes. They're a plus 29. The other one is a plus 22. They play 74 minutes. Is Pritchard, Kada, Derek White, Brown, and Josh Mina, which has been the starting 5 for like 6, you know what I'm saying, six games. If I scroll all the way down to the worst lineup,
don't do that. Somebody mean.
Anfernee Simons and Tillman are in that lineup.
Okay.
Tillman, I love Tillman. I hope that Tillman can like pick up the slack and be the player that he was in the championship season, but it's not a good lineup, right? It's just not a good line. Actually, oh my God, I don't want to be beat. The bottom 4 lineups have Anfernee Simons in it. I like it's just like I don't think Anfernee Simons is that bad where all the worst lineups have him in it, but I'm just saying like some things aren't great pairs. Right?
Something isn't working though.
Right. Something isn't working. And like if Jalen has 16 points in a 10 minutes that lineup is out there and he's doing everything on offense, he got 2 steals, he playing good defense. If that lineup is bad, it doesn't matter. It won't reflect his greatness on that lineup. So let's just chill on that. So Simons, I think he's limited as an offensive player. I think he does some good for you. And if he's hot like the Pelicans game, you see his value. You really see his value. Garza as a screener, I think he's solid. As an offensive rebounder, I think he's solid. On defense, it's just not there. And if he can't add value with his 3-point shooting, he won't be effective. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to figure those things out.
That was a tremendous answer to what did they do. That's way more than I expected, which is awesome. I think Simons in particular is best used as the off-ball catch and shoot guy. Every time he catches and shoots, I think it's going in. Like he got going in the Orlando game because he was catching and shooting. He made back-to-back threes to tie the game at 86. They were catch and shoot threes. It wasn't him dribbling the ball. It wasn't him going, watch this. It was somebody else created the shot. They drove to the paint. The ball hit the paint. They kicked it out. He was wide open. Great offense.
Oof.
When he initiates the offense, nothing gets initiated. Just watch it. I think it was, I was talking with Jake on First the Floor. If you took Jason Tatum and you split him in half and you put all of like the good non-scoring stuff into a guy, it'd be Josh Minot. And if you took all of the bad, you would get Anfernee Simons. Like Anfernee Simons does all like the Jason Tatum step back, watch this, that makes me want to rip my hair out with none of the good stuff. And he's 6'2", so he can't even really defend. And the point you made about Paolo not having it yesterday and having the opportunity to get fouled and get free opportunities to go to the free throw line and then get himself going possibly is a big reason why he can't be in that game. And there's also a layer to this where when they took him out in the first half, which I've seen so many people complaining about, and if you want to say that like 2 minutes isn't enough to give him a chance, I think that's fine. But the second quarter, which is where he was going to play, is when they decided that they were going to keep this a game. Ugo, Josh Minot, Jordan Walsh were out there with Peyton Pritchard, and they made it tough for the Magic. Pritchard was getting anywhere he wanted with the ball. He was doing a much better job at creating offense than Simons would have. and the rest of those guys are wreaking havoc on defense. That's what you need to get back into games. Sometimes hot shooting's great, but he hasn't really had that, and he hasn't been able to create it with the ball in his hands. So I don't really think he has that great of a role unless he's playing alongside somebody, which I'm not ready to write him off and say like he can't fit. I told Jack this yesterday. It's only been 10 games. Like, yes, it's a large sample size, but it's not to say that there aren't going to be growing pains. There's no way that he can possibly fit into this team. Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer for chemistry to develop. Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer for Missoula to completely understand how to use him, which the people saying that, like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, like, Joe Missoula is not the one, like, getting pressured by defenders and not being able to handle the ball. Like, that's on him. And that's part of, like, I literally do not know how he averaged 22 points a game in Portland for a season.
As a top option.
How did that happen?
Listen, if you want to say, yeah, he okay, like I've said this in the Toronto game, which is his first preseason game, he had trouble bringing it up during pressure. Listen, you can say that, oh, Joe doesn't know how to use him. He shouldn't be bringing it up. Cool. But the most important part of that is, why can't this point guard bring the ball up? I think that's more important than Joe don't have the point guard bring it up. So fine, cool. There was some, okay, yeah. You brought up that second quarter. The lineup of, what was it? It was Pritchard, Walsh. It was Walsh, White. It was some lineup, right? No, it was Walsh, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Minot, and Keita, right? They played 5 minutes. I think they were a +9, and they had 9 defensive possessions and had 3 steals and 3 blocks in a game that they were trying to come back in. You can't take that lineup. Like, you got to ride with that lineup. They were playing too good. Now, I think the lineup with Simons in was a plus. In the second quarter, they only played 2 minutes though. It was going okay, but again, they were trying to come back into the game. You can't be a +2 trying to come back from 12 points. So they were like, that lineup gave them something. They gave them what they were looking for. They were creating turnovers. They were scoring. Blah blah blah. So he was supposed to come back in, right? But when the lineup is playing that good, which I said that I think Joe hasn't been doing that great. He did it right there. He kept that in for as long as he could, right? And they did what they were supposed to do. And the Simons part about like the Tatum shit, I said that when we acquired him, I was like, okay, Simons can give you some of the things that Tatum gives you as far as the above the break threes. Like, Tatum was towards the top when he averaged like 10 above the break threes per game. He's not taking any threes in the corner because he's Tatum. Anfernee Simons was like 10th with like 7.5. So some of that stuff he also gives you, just like you said, right? But the 2 threes that he hit in the fourth quarter, Ugo drove, got a great lefty pass to Keita. Keita passed out to him. He had a wide open 3. Then the second one, Ugo got an offensive rebound, kicked it to him. He's wide open, hit a 3. That's where he needs to be. That's where he needs to be. His most effective play type is off the ball shooter, whether that's coming off screens, doing that. If you can have the ball in his hands in a pick and roll, or like a Spain action where it's simple, either you shoot or you give it to the guy that's right beside you. He can do that. But when you ask him to do point guard things, and he's not the only one. I've been like, Derek White can't create separation consistently enough to be like a true number 1 point guard. I think he's still a phenomenal player, but of course he's going to be better with Tatum, with Drew, with Porzingis. You know what I'm saying? That's natural, right? But so Simons isn't the only one. But guys, we can't do this. We can't do this. He's not that great to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So temper the expectations. If he has a huge game, don't come back and say, oh, look, no, I told you he can get hot. He already got hot. He will get hot. He got hot. He got hot last night, and it helped us. I'm not saying he can never help us. It's just the duality of him as an offensive player is wild to me.
Well, the best part about all of this is like people are doing that regardless. Like they're coming back and being like, "See, like somebody in the comments today was like, he's the third leading scorer on the Celtics, highest 3-point percentage guy in the Celtics, and he's coming off the bench, like blah 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 blah." Anfernee Simons against the Wizards didn't do anything until garbage time, and he was out there for the entire fourth quarter, and he was just let loose. Like it was like, do whatever you want.
In the fourth
Yeah,
quarter.
he was the third leading scorer in the game. He was tied with Pritchard with 18 points after just getting to play against like me and the boys for 10 minutes at the end of the game. Like, of course he's playing well. And like, I think there's some value in that. Like, I think a player like that needs to get his confidence, needs to be able to believe in himself when he does have the ball in his hands. The Orlando game was nice. Like, thank you for doing your job off the bench. Like, the type of production you got from him in the stretch where he got hot against the Magic is the type of stuff you should be able to expect from a player of his caliber coming off the bench more often. And they haven't really seen that. He hasn't been reliable, and it's too bad. But I still have some hope. I just don't get the people that are just willing to die and be like, he's better than Pritchard. Why is he coming off the bench while Pritchard is starting? Like, it doesn't make any sense. We can move off of this though. Good Simon's analysis, excellent work. Hopefully finds his footing. You got one more point.
One more quick thing.
Absolutely.
Pritchard can't continue to foul. Can't continue to get 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes, because then that throws off everything. So if like Simons has to catch a rhythm, it's hard to do that off the bench when you're coming into the game way earlier than when you're supposed to. So I would love that, so I'm pretty sure he loves that he gets some extra time, but it just throws off it just throws everything off. So Pritchard cannot keep picking up 2 quick fouls. Go ahead.
Did he do that again last night?
I think he did. I believe that he did. I believe he picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter.
First quarter, Pritchard 2 fouls on the nose, but he did play 10 minutes in the first quarter.
Okay. So yeah, so it probably happened. I'm probably still thinking about it, but I don't know.
Still a good point. Can't happen. I mean, he essentially fouled himself out of the first quarter of the Wizards game after 45 seconds. Like, accurate point. Simons didn't look comfortable. They had an awful first quarter. Like, there's correlation there. Absolutely. Before we get into the NBA stuff, we will go through your emails today. Shout out to RJ. RJ sent us 2 emails. That's all we've got from the listeners today. First one, I'm not going to put up on the screen because I'm not signing on my computer, but I will read it off my phone. RJ the GOAT, RJ, loyal listener of the program, the email extraordinaire. I had to think about the alliteration.
Okay.
Email reads, almost time for that fun Celtics fan game. Morning, folks. Celtics are 3-5 as I write this, the morning of the Wizards game. And despite the fact that Boston is the second best points allowed in the NBA on defense, many people are getting out the home version of that classic game. Whose fault is it? Yep. If the Celtics can't win, the fan base and some members of the press will start trying to find someone to scapegoat. Not that I spent the last 20 minutes of the pod doing this. Fans will try and find someone to scapegoat. Clearly, the easiest early candidates are Derek White, any center not named Nemi, Bill Chisholm, or the tax penalty. Take your pick. And as always, the refs. Jalen's choice, by the way. I hope we don't. It's an ugly way to spend the remaining 90% of the schedule. My own take, looking at the shooting woes so far, is that players not named Jaylen Brown may not have legs to play all-out defense and shoot from deep. So many of the threes have been hitting the front rim. Be well, RJ. Yeah, I mean, I think there have been a lot of open mouths for some blame pie. Like, I think they've done a great job of being mediocre all around, except for Jaylen. But there's room to improve. Like, that's the annoying part of this. Like, they're showing you that they can do it. They're showing you that they're competent. They're showing you that they can play good defense. And yet here they are 4-6, sometimes losing games that it doesn't feel like they should lose, like the Jazz game or the first Philly game. Like, Peyton Pritchard kind of alluded to it with the media last night, which Jack brought up, was like, we could be 6-4 and the narratives would be different, which is true. And, as RJ sends that, it was 2 games ago, but the record is still 2 games below 500. Like, it's all the same. Who would you put the blame on? Would you do the blame?
I've always been like, if I had like a blame pie, I've always been more players than coach. I do think coaching plays a big part in it, but there are circumstances where a coach can put the player in the right position and they don't do good, right? And then people still blame the coach. So if, for example, this is not hate on Simons, but say for example, like Joe completely takes him off of like he's not handling it, he's coming off screens and he's getting open looks and he shoots over 5. Like that's on Simons. That can't be on Joe. So there are instances where I think the coach can do something. Joe hasn't been great this season, but for an example, like there are times where a coach can put the guy in the right position and he doesn't happen. So if it's coaching players, I'm always gonna go more towards the players. For certain players, blame, I guess Derek White hasn't been what you wanted Derek White to be. We all expected Derek White to have like an all-star type season. He could still have that. It's only 10 games in, but he hasn't been what we thought he would be up to this point. He just hasn't looked comfortable a lot of times, handling the ball a lot. And I think we wanted his contributions to be like he should clearly be the second best player on the team. I think he is, but um like playing wise, like he's not playing like he's the second best player, especially on the offensive side. So
Right.
we need more from him. We need more from him. So I don't like blaming people 10 games into the season, but if I had to pick somebody that I want to step up more, it has to be Derek White.
Great point. Derek does feel like he's trending in the right direction a little bit. Felt really good about him in the Orlando game, even though he still couldn't buy a three. He was 6 of 10 from inside the 3-point line. Loved it. Loved that he was aggressive to take 10 shots within the 3-point line, which he hasn't really done so much this season. Pretty good defensive night, too. Had some stocks, 10 assists, double-double for him. Like, he looked really good running the pick and roll with Nimi. Like, Joe Mazzulla has been sending the same message to him and Pritchard this whole season with them struggling from three. It's like, figure out what you do that's not threes and be impactful that way and have the threes be a bonus. Pritchard has done that. He's done a great job weaving his way into the mid-range, making teams pay that way. Actually made his threes yesterday. Was awesome for 27 points. Derek White kind of figuring it out. Double-double. Whoa, what do we have here? I hope he's able to spark his confidence a little bit by scoring from inside the arc. And then, you're like, oh, I'm feeling it. Let's see if I can make some threes today. Next email. Some thoughts about the very consistent Celtics, also from RJ. Evening, folks. It's a Wednesday in November. Then the Celtics must be putting a beat down on the Wizards. Fun game after the first quarter. So the Celtics have been remarkably consistent this year at holding other teams under their scoring average. Very true. Only 2 opponents have made their personal over against Boston, Detroit, and Houston, which matches my eye test for their worst losses. Also very true. The Utah, well, now Orlando too. The Utah and Philly losses were disappointing, but winnable. Yep. Whatever is happening on offense, Joe is preaching defense, and clearly this squad is taking it to heart against the Wiz. What was heartening was seeing Minot, Walsh, and Gonzalez, again in Orlando too, all contribute effectively to the chaos defense, not just in their own stats, but by annoying Washington into bad possessions. The past 2 years, the Celtics could trust Drew, Al, and JT's defensive skills to switch them onto a variety of opponents effectively. This year, Joe is learning who is the right fit for the right night. Sometimes he finds the correct puzzle piece. Others, we get 3 minutes of Garza and Shireman mismatches. Missoula's learning too. The team is in the process of learning how to win. Let's enjoy their learning curve. Be well, RJ. I feel like this is a lot of what we talked about today. But I think the Ugo, Jordan Walsh, Minot thing, and you did the video on this. Everyone watching can go on Nick's channel and watch his breakdown of the Dirty Work Wings film session. It's right there on the screen. He broke it down, and they've been awesome these last couple games. And I think the Celtics might have found something with them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I think, of course, like I talked about this earlier with Jordan Walsh, but I think the new like aggressive help defensive scheme like caters to all of them, right? So Ugo and like also that it's also like, of course, in the half court, it's like helping. You're trying to. It's like 5 people versus the basketball. When people drive, the Celtics are trying to go and they're trying to create chaos on the defense side of the ball. But another change in that is like the pickup points. When Ugo's in the game, when Josh Minot's in the game, they're pressing 94 feet, right? So they're trying to slow down the offense, and I think that helps with like holding teams under their average because you're causing them to get into their offense later than they usually do, right? So the second Philly game, I thought Ugo did a great job on VJ. There was a lineup where I think him and Quinn Grimes were the primary scorers, and of course, if that's your lineup, you're looking for VJ to be that guy. And a lot of times, Ugo is making sure that he doesn't touch the ball on the inbound. So if he's not bringing it up and he's not touching it until like 8 seconds on the clock, it's much harder than him. It's a lot harder to get going, rather than him bringing it up with no pressure with 20 seconds left on the clock. So I think the most underrated part about defense is causing a guy not to shoot the ball. That's not on a sheet. That's not a stat. That's not anything. But when you play so good of defense, or you deny the ball so good that that guy can't get a touch or a shot off, I think Ugo is excellent at that and has been this season. So, yeah, I really like those three guys. I think they do a lot of the stuff that will heighten if Tatum was here. Like, I think they will be so like this team. Like, I don't even want to really get into that, but this team would just be. Of course, it's obvious. This team would be so much better with Tatum because like him and Brown can be themselves. Derek White has an easier time, even though I think White has been missing some open threes. Pritchard has been missing some open threes, of course, but I think everything just gets easier with Tatum, and the things that might not Ugo and Walsh do on a good team, like if you have better guys, that stuff heightens. So I've been really impressed with those guys. Plus Kada, I haven't really mentioned Kada in this, but I really like what we've been getting from Kada. He's not playing a lot of minutes, like 24, 25 a game, but Kada leads us in net rating. He's been rebounding well. He's been rebounding better than last season. But the rim protection, man, he's been a good rim protector this year. And a lot of that chaos and that off the ball help. Yesterday there was a perfect example. Paulo was in the post at the top of the key, and he couldn't see where Jalen was. So Jalen came off the corner and tried to take it from him. He missed, and Paulo swung it to somebody, and they drove. Cater was in the paint. They didn't even look at the rim because Cater was right there, and they had to, dribble out. So Cater being on that back line is huge for this scrambling type of defense because you're not going to get the ball every time. That's why they call it gambles. You're gonna miss. So when you miss, you need to have somebody that can deter or block or change an open layup.
Yeah, you don't want them to like essentially there's a part of this too where having Kata there makes it so you don't have to help as much. I forget. I think Jack and I talked about it on a recent pod, but like the reason why they're so much better with him on versus like Luka Garza or Tillman, like other teams don't really fear those guys. So they're having to help more on those drives, leaving shooters open, and then the 3-point percentage might go up for the other team, or the defensive rating goes up with Kate on the court because the opposing teams can't score threes as easy. But that's all your emails for now. Thank you to RJ for sending them in. Quick standings check-in. We can talk about anything interesting around the NBA that you may have seen, Nick, and then we can get out of here with the rat list. But quickly right now, let me share my screen. I never do this, so bear with me. We have the Pistons. Whoa, our Pistons in first place in the East. What a time it is here. Oh, let me take the overlay off. My bad. Pistons number one in the conference at 7-2. Chicago still somehow up there, somehow one of the more competitive teams in the East. Cleveland 3, more where we expected them at 6-3. Milwaukee, New York, Philly, all round out the top 6. More suitable teams to be up in that range compared to what it's been. Especially the last time we did it was like Miami, Toronto up there. Really weird stuff. Miami, Toronto, Atlanta, Orlando, play-in, Celtics, Hornets, Pacers, Nets, Wizards in the bottom.
The Pacers are 1-7.
Pacers have been struggling. It's funny that they're that bad because their first game they took OKC to double overtime and it was juiced up, and they still have a lot of like riser type players that you'd expect to be good without Halliburton.
Yeah, that's crazy. So like overall thoughts, the Pistons have been playing great. Cade Cunningham in the fourth quarters has been absolutely insane. averaging like 12 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds in the fourth quarter. So I love what he's been able to do. The Bulls, I did a video on Josh Giddey. I think that I think one huge thing is that opponents are like shooting horrible from three against Chicago. And they're like a top defense in the NBA. I don't think that'll stand just based on like their personnel, but Josh Giddey has really taken advantage of this opportunity. No Kobe White, so that means he has more time with the ball in his hands. And he just looks so much more comfortable. He's shooting like 40% from three. So that's what it is. Cleveland just got Darius Garland back. They're gonna be Cleveland in the regular season, regardless of what happens. So it is what it is. Celtics, of course, down there at 11. The Knicks 70. We're gonna play the 76ers 3 times in like the first 11 games. So
crazy.
We're gonna see them a lot. But I think they're a cool team. Maxi's leading the league in scoring, I believe. Or he might just went down a little bit, but he's been phenomenal. Of course, VJ Escombe. They're trying to get Embiid back. I think Paul George is coming back in a little bit. The Hawks, who I was really high on, adding Nikhil Alexander Walker, Chris Stapps, Luke Kennard, and like drafting Asa Newell, who I liked. The progression of Jalen Johnson and Richard Shea. They're having not a great start to the season. Well, Trae Young is obviously out, but even before that, they look kind of wonky. So hopefully they can pick it up. But yeah, the East is the East.
Chris Stapps also not playing well.
Yeah.
Talked about this last night briefly. Like 17 points a game on 41% from the field and like 31% from three. Not really feeling as bad about losing him. I mean, granted, I think if he's with the Celtics, it works a little bit better for him. He proved he could play here and things of that matter. But I don't think it's going to be one of those trades that you're like, man, they really gave up too early on him. It sucks. Out west, OKC doing OKC things, 9-1 over the first 10 games. They've been dominant. They did lose to the Trailblazers. First and only loss of the season was a close one. Sadly, the Lakers are playing really well, 7-2, 5 wins in a row. San Antonio continues to be good. They still haven't really played anyone. They beat Houston in the Cup last night, which was impressive. Wemby had himself a solid game. Denver, Portland, Houston rounding out the top 6. Minnesota, Golden State, Phoenix, Memphis in the play-in. Clippers, Kings, Jazz, Pelicans, Mavs, who have been dreadful, lost 4 in a row, all down at the bottom. Can't believe Memphis is in the play-in. Can't believe the Clippers are out of it.
Do the Mavs have their first this year?
It's a great question. I'll look it up while you.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a bigger issue than we think. Yeah. So OKC is OKC. They're gonna do what they have to do. They
own it. Just for those wondering.
Okay, that's kind of scary. All right. But yeah, OKC is gonna OKC. They have done their job. Shea's still playing at an MVP type level. They've been in a lot of close games. They've been exciting to watch. The Portland game was really exciting. I love this Trailblazers team. Of course, they got Rob. That's been hooping again. I love what I've been seeing from Rob.
Yes.
And Drew has been picking up the offensive slack. Man,
he's the one. Yeah. He's the one that you look back and like, man, that sucks. They had to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, I understood at the time. I knew exactly what it was for. It's an older guy that has a player option when he's 38. Second apron has been killing you. I totally understood it, but it's like, damn, like especially playoff Drew where he can guard Jalen Brunson and Anfernee Towns in the same game. Like, there's just not too many players like that. So yeah, Drew has been really picking up the offensive slack. He's been shooting the heck out of the three. Especially in the OKC game where he hit like 6 threes, something like that. But yeah, the Lakers, man, it's been really good to see Smart play like Smart. Where he's not going to be crazy efficient from when he's trying to score the ball, but he's going to do all the little things, man. He's going to guard bigger guys. He's going to draw charges. He's going to set screens. He's a great passer. I feel like I've seen a lot of the Lakers fans be pleasantly surprised at his passing. Like, he literally played point guard for us. They
don't deserve it. They don't deserve
it.
The ignorance to that is so infuriating. I'm so happy you brought it up. It's like, this dude has been a nasty passer. He's been awesome. And it's not like when he was on the Celtics, he was hiding. Like, the Celtics were on national TV playing in the finals. Like,
and he was starting.
Yeah, he was crazy good. Like, defensive player of the year, but like great vision. The backdoor cuts with Jalen, where feeding them the bounce passes was nasty. in particular, like the first assist smart game that sticks out to me. He had like 11 assists in the first half of the 2023 Conference Finals game 1. He was like dotting everybody up. Rob was catching lobs. Like he's a crazy good passer. Put some respect on his name. Sad to see him with the Lakers. Not good.
The Spurs, who start off 5-0, Wemby has like taken a step back a little bit. Had a solid game against the Rockets last night, which I watched. But yeah, the West is a bloodbath. The Nuggets, who like Cam Johnson hasn't even done anything yet, and they're 6-2. Nikola Jokic hasn't had to put up 30, 15, and 15. He's now just putting up like 20, 15, and 15. So he doesn't have to score as much. Early on, Jamal Murray has been playing great. So that's good. The Trailblazers, again, I talk about Trailblazers. I love that team. The Rockets, of course, are they still the best offense in the league? But it's fine. They have been really good on offense. Tari Easton's been shooting the heck out of the ball. Of course, you got KD and Min Thompson. Sengun, who has been really passing the ball well with Fred VanVleet out. So Reece Shepard, who everybody wrote off after one game against the defending champions, is starting to play. Is starting to show that he can play again. So that's cool. Down there, we got the Timberwolves, the Warriors. The Suns are 4-5. That's cool. I saw that Jalen Green has debut and he scored like 29 points. So that was cool. Clippers, yeah, the Grizzlies over the Clippers. The Grizzlies seem like things are going to shit for them and they're in the play in. So I don't
it feels like they should be the Mavs. Like it feels like they should be the 2-7 team. Like not the same as the Celtics. Like think about like all the positivity ish, like kind of positivity. Like there's like the half of this where we're like Anfernee Simons is not good and so on, but like you could still like feel good about a lot of things the Celtics are doing. Meanwhile, it's like Ja hates his life in Memphis. Jaren Jackson isn't playing well. Like they're gonna have to blow the team up. All those things. It just feels so bizarre. And the Clippers
have the same record,
dumpster fire.
Yeah. So yeah, the Mavericks having their first round pick. Yeah, they keep this up. They could luck into something again. I don't think that they're gonna get blessed twice, but
they don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it. They deserve the first one. But you know the thing about trade your franchise player, get the first overall pick. The Chris Paul, when Chris Paul went to the Clippers, they got Anthony Davis. Then when AD gets traded to the Lakers, they get Zion. Well, it was before. But they trade AD.
No, you got it right.
Oh, okay, yeah. They got Zion and then Luka, Cooper Flag. So I don't know. Maybe somebody else trades their star player and they get Darren Peterson. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. But the NBA, I love the NBA right now. It's the greatest reality TV show of all time. Something happens every night, and it's just such a great thing.
Just to answer your question, Houston 4th in points per game, 2nd in offensive rating.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now that it's over, NBA section is over. Ratless time, Nick. Do you have any peeves, gripes? Has anybody wronged you in the past? Oh, I don't know. You haven't been on the show in a couple months.
Yeah.
Done the pregame plenty.
My computer has wronged me for about 3 years.
That's a fact.
When I have been on my when it's just me, when I'm on my platform, on my YouTube channel, and I do things where I have my face cam, right? My camera is good. Not like the quality, but the camera is where it's supposed to be. So you guys are probably seeing this flipped, but right here over my right shoulder is Luther Vandross, right? That guy in the middle. And then we have one up there and one over here. So on my screen, the albums are on this side, right? For you guys, it'll be flipped. On every single platform that I've been on that's not mine, whether that's playback, StreamYard with you guys, StreamYard with anybody else, Zoom, my camera is always flipped. It's always mirrored the wrong way. And I've tried everything. People say, well, just mirror your camera. It'll show, like, right now it's showing correctly, but every time I go and watch an episode, it's flipped. So then I will mirror it, unmirror it. So I'll be like, okay, on this podcast, I checked it so it can be mirrored and it didn't work. Cool. For this podcast, I'm not going to mirror it. It still didn't work. And I've gone to my settings in OBS. I've tried to figure it out. Nothing works. Nothing works. And I've switched cameras So it has to be my computer. And I don't want to reset all of my computer settings. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where that's going to take me, but every single platform that's not my own like OBS YouTube shit, my camera is always mirrored the wrong way, and I hate it so much.
I hate when my camera's mirrored too. I completely feel you. I'm so blessed that it's not. My background looks the way it's supposed to. All the letters face the same way that they're supposed to. Very happy, very pleased with that. I don't think I've done it on the show yet. Rallis ESPN. ESPN, biggest villain in the world right now. They are the greediest of all the media companies. If you are unaware, personally, I am a YouTube TV subscriber, unfortunately, so I am affected by this. ESPN is trying to launch its own streaming thing, similar to like, I guess if you buy Peacock now, you can just subscribe to NBC Sports Boston, which is actually like I think a good thing because NBC Sports Boston hasn't pulled their stream off of YouTube TV. If you buy cable, you still get NBC Sports Boston. ESPN has pulled all of their channels from YouTube TV. They have tried to inflate their fee, their price in negotiations for a new contract with YouTube TV. They have been unreasonable, and it's all a goal to just be like, oh, you can't get us on YouTube TV? That's fine. You could pay $40 a month for ESPN so you can watch all the games that you would be able to watch with your cable subscription normally by paying an extra $40. Meanwhile, if you're a Hulu subscriber, that is owned by Disney, which owns ESPN. So they have no motivation to try and drive people away from that. So this is the second straight. This is Saturday, as Nick and I are recording. Second straight college football Saturday with no ESPN on YouTube TV. It's a true crime.
Listen, man. If you need reliable ways, legal, reliable ways to watch anything, brother, hit me up. Okay. If you need to watch college football in a reliable way, I'm not talking about it's lagging, all this other shit. Hit me up, brother.
Okay.
I got you.
We'll monitor this.
I've never been a subscribed to ESPN. Like I wanted to for a lot of times. Now, the only thing I have to be subscribed to is League Pass. Even though that should be less than what it is because now we have Peacock, we have Prime, NBC, all that stuff. Like there's more national TV avenues now, right? So and you can't watch because with TNT you were at least able to watch the game on League Pass, even though there was no commentators, and sometimes that's a good thing, right? But you were able to watch the game. So the only thing that you couldn't watch on League Pass was ESPN games and like ABC, I think, right? Now you can't watch it with Prime, NBC, ESPN. You can't watch with all that. So if I'm getting less games, I should pay less. That just makes sense, right? But it is what it is. But other than that, but I got Netflix, but I don't even need Netflix because I got the gimme. I'm trying to tell you, but like I've been seeing the ESPN YouTube TV shit. Like it's crazy. And for people
the best thing about this is ESPN is just like going out there like being like, oh man, poor us. Like they're really trying to screw us in these negotiations, and we're doing everything we can. Like they're trying to play the victim, and it's so clearly their fault, and it's driving me crazy. You know, a lot of people crazy. Like it's not just me.
Yeah.
But great point about League Pass. Didn't even think about it with like, especially like you live down in DC, so for you, League Pass as a Celtics fan was like, not to say you're not watching other games too, but it was just such a great thing to have because you can watch the majority of your team's games. You don't even need cable. And then if it's on national TV, you can probably get that pretty easy. Now, with all those different things, it is more difficult to get the games. Even though I've been a fan of the different, like, I think the Amazon product's been good. I think NBC's been good. They've done a good job with this. But I kind of wasn't affected by the ESPN thing, especially with basketball, because typically I'll just go to the game. But I came home from maybe it was the Monday game, maybe it was the Wednesday game this week, and I wanted to watch the end of the Lakers-Spurs game, and it was on ESPN. I was like, oh, I can't watch this. Like, it was literally like less than 10 seconds left. It was when Smart like stepped over the line on the inbounds or whatever, and people were going crazy. I was like, I got to see what's going on here. Couldn't do it.
Hey, man. Hit me up, man. Hit me up. I got you. I'll make sure that never happen again, brother.
Okay. All right. We can wrap it there unless you have anything else you'd like to complain about, which if you do, go ahead. But if not, we can call it a day. It's been an hour 15. Great show. As expected. NikNBA, tremendous guest, tremendous pregame guest, tremendous creator. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. You can follow him on Twitter at NikNBA YouTube on the screen there for you to see very easily. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Nope. Tune into the YouTube. I got an Amari Williams film coming out in like a couple hours. So
that is a passion project. No doubt about it.
So much passion. Everything is right here. Everything's right here.
All right. Well, to all the listeners, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you think of the 4-6 Celtics. Tell us how mean we were to Anfernee Simons and how unfair it is. We are here every day, though. Subscribe. New pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps morning after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. Jack and I are there every day. Leave a 5-star review. Would appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Shout out to RJ, the email man. Send in 2 emails today. Shout out to him. Always is reliable. hbtcpod for all your thoughts. Socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's1NBA. Nick's Twitter is at NikNBAYT. And mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Check, check, go.